Hello, it's me, Annie from Bad Squiddo Games, and I've got a different video than usual. I appear to have got a bit closer than usual too. It's a bit of a sensitive subject, and I decided earlier I was going to make this video, and now I have no idea what I'm going to say. So if you've been following the page, you'll see that I've had the week off due to a health relapse. This happens occasionally to varying levels. This was a particularly unpleasant one. I always feel a bit awkward mentioning mental health. I think everyone does. I feel like if I'd posted the specifics, like if I'd broken my leg, I'd have got a lot of sympathy and, you know, get well soon. Whereas somehow posting that I'd had a mental health episode seems unprofessional. So, as well as managing Bad Squiddo Games, I also manage anxiety and depression. Yay! Most of the time I am on top of it. I don't want to go into too many details. It's pretty grim, and although I've made this brave decision to talk about it, I still don't feel comfortable going into depth. I kind of would be on a one-on-one basis, but since it's the entire internet, I don't think, just personally, that's for me yet. It's obviously an issue that affects a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you watching it will be relating. And I don't know, I guess I thought I'd make a short video just to sort of speak out, and I guess it always helps when you know other people have same or similar issues. I got diagnosed, I can't remember. I can't remember how long, but I've felt this way pretty much as long as I can remember. I've been on medication for maybe 4 years now, which made a massive difference. But again, I'm a bit hesitant to make this sort of video because different things work for different people, and I would never want to diagnose or offer you any specific drugs and advice or anything like that. But for me personally, there's lots of different medications too, but the medication I'm on pretty much has me sorted, and it allowed me to then experiment, to begin a bit of a journey through mindfulness and all the other things you can do yourself, it gives me that step up. And I feel like I'm rambling, and I guess that's the nature of this sort of video, so it's okay. But to summarise that rambling, I'm mostly okay most of the time, and as soon as things start going a bit wrong, I've now got to the point where I can recognise it and stop it before it gets too much. Occasionally I can't. So Monday was one of those sort of days, but I haven't had that bad for maybe about a year, and so that's the sort of time when I need to step away before it gets too bad. Obviously, anyone who's run a business themselves or knows somebody close to them who runs business, you'll know that it's hard work and it kind of takes up your entire being, especially when I'm at that sort of stage where you get bigger but you still can't have staff. You can't logistically afford staff yet, so you're doing everything yourself. You need other people, but you're just not quite there yet, so it's that sort of awkward mid-ground. And and how you can't separate work and personal at all, and it just becomes you. That in itself, without any brain weasels, is pretty hard anyway. And I know a ton of people in this industry all going through the same thing. So that's just sort of knackering, and with the depression, mostly the depression on top of it, it can get extremely overwhelming because it's like I was trying to find a video game analogy and I can't think of one. Starting with no. So running a business is tough. Having depression is tough, and combining the two is hard level. It's super hard level. There's also the nature of being online, and I don't think a lot of people realise how tough running a war games company is. Not in the sense of the amount of work that you've got to do, that's the obvious, but you have to have a very tough skin. People are nasty out there, and that's just part of it. That's part of, you know, having your own brand. And some people like what you do, other people won't like what you do, and most of the time, you know, that's life. Most of the time, I brush it off. But because my mood fluctuates like this, maybe it'll fluctuate during the video, but it fluctuates up and down. When it's up, whatever. But if I'm already down, it can, one person saying something rude about my minis or myself can just, at the wrong time, you know, it can just spiral. So if I'm particularly squeezing up, if I'm not in a particularly great headspace, that's the sort of thing that can just knock me down. So that's why I tend to sometimes just step away from the computer for a little bit, which I've been doing this week. I had a particularly bad episode on Monday, and normally what I'll do, because it's weirdly, it appears and goes as quickly as anything, so it'll be the absolute worst, and then not long after I'll feel fine again, but then I throw myself back into work and I don't allow any sort of recuperation like if it was any other sort of illness. So I've actually been good this week, and I've taken the week off, although here I am doing a video. I'm just being away from a computer, giving myself time, getting that bit of a recharge, because the problem was I can feel it coming, and I know all the signs now, and it was my warning signals have all been doing this. But I had to get the pledge manager ready for the Kickstarter, and each time, like, I need to just the pledge manager, and then I explode and there's still no pledge manager, so I should have stopped. I'm hoping people won't get too angry that it's going to be an extra week, but the thing is, they've already made the production molds. I've just got to look and approve the production casts, and then they're going to start casting. So even my little delay on the pledge manager, it's not the end of the world. It's not delaying the fulfillment in any way. So there's nothing to worry about there. But again, you know, one comment can just feel like you put so much in, and nobody I don't know the word. Nobody appreciates it, which is ridiculous, because the amount of positive messages I get every day. I get emails, PMs, I see people posting on social media saying about how great the miniatures are, how much they love what I do, and that is the best. And then it'll just take one bad comment and I'm just like, I'm the worst, why do I do this? It's very odd. Well, everyone can relate to that, I'm sure, but again, with my illness, everything can be exaggerated, so, and obviously more exaggerated in the downside, so where something might be a bit of a glitch, something can ruin the whole week. I'm really aware of rambling now, and part of my brain is the little PR fella in my brain's going, what are you doing? This is a terrible video to make. Why? But I just wanted to be honest, really, because I do dodge around it a lot, and I'll just post that I've been ill, and then people think I've got this eternal cold or something, but I've just had to step away, and that comes with all sorts of guilt as well, because obviously then it turns into a cycle of, oh, you know, I'm letting everyone down, or, you know, things like that. But in reality, it's so rarely over a couple of days that there's any sort of, you know, time lost. And the same with any one person business. People get ill, and that's just part of it. But I beat myself up a bit too much if I have a a mental problem. Mental problem. If I've got a really bad cold or anything like that, I'll take a week off, and I think, well, I can't go in. If I'm in a state, I'll force myself through it, and it just never works. It never ends well. I'll never learn. Maybe I'll learn one day. I'm not even sure if there's any quality to this ramble. I just wanted you to get to know me a bit better. And again, I know a bunch of you will be watching this and going, "Oh yeah." There's the whole industry, obviously wouldn't name anybody, but there's so many people that I'm friends with or know through the industry that have very similar problems. And the whole nature of business, and also the sort of British everything's okay, you would never know, and it bothers me that people do suffer in silence. And I'm very, very lucky that I've got a really good network of friends that look out for me. And I know that there's a lot of people, and obviously the majority of my customers are male, and there's the whole thing with men not talking about stuff, and you totally should, because it's so, and I say this and then I really struggle to talk. So I thought, if I'm brave, it's not brave, but if I make this video, even though I don't appear to be saying anything, other people might, maybe you'll go and talk, because if I didn't have the help and support I've had, I don't know where I'd be. There'd definitely not be a Bad Squiddo. Oh crap! My arm's been by the microphone. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm gonna be back in work on Monday, and hopefully with a massive spring in my step, all recharged and ready to kick ass. The pledge manager's really gonna take a day. I've done the pledge manager. I've just got to do everyone's codes, and I like to do all that with the update in one go. Because if I do half and then say I have to have a couple days off or anything like that, I get a whole load of, "Where's my code?" I'm like, "It's okay, I haven't finished yet, it's okay." You're not forgotten, I've just not got there yet. I didn't really want to Annie-splain depression or anxiety, because everyone has a different experience, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't want to go into too much detail, and I feel like I've cheated you a little bit with my video and not really saying anything, but you get to see me in full rambly mode. I'm okay. It wasn't the best, but I'm okay. I'm just exhausted and just sort of coming back round now. It's almost like having an enormous hangover, but without the drinking fun. I've just got the vitamin C juice. And I've been having lots of guinea pig cuddles, which is good when there's a whole 6 of them. I can just keep rotating them. So I guess the point of the video is, say, if you see me being ill or posting vaguely about being ill, I'm not throwing up. I might be throwing up. I haven't got the flu or anything. I'm in some sort of state somewhere, and just need to time away. But I don't want anyone. One of the things that made me not want to really mention this is there's still obviously the stigma, and I didn't want anyone to think, "Oh, I don't want to put my trust in that company," because again, it's no different to somebody having any sort of physical problem and needing a bit of time off now and again. I obviously try to not get ill. It just happens. It's the way of it. But I'm hoping positive. I'm hoping that my awesome service and communication and all that stuff sort of makes up for it. So we're normally extra good. So if I have a bit of a slip now and again, hopefully I've built up enough sort of brownie points that you'll let me off a little bit. I also don't want a ton of sympathy or, "Oh, that's Bad Squiddo, she's the sad one." It's totally cool. I'm rambling so much. I'm gonna have such video regret. I know a lot of people, they'll see me at the stand and, say at trade show, I'm gonna get animated now, and I'll be like, "Hello, Bad Squiddo, yes, this is amazing, buy my things, yay!" And and I've chatted to people before that have had, you know, various issues, and they've, you know, been absolutely petrified of me and can't quite comprehend how I'd be anything other than massively confident. And it's took me a long time with that, you know, that again, I've got all the combos against running a company, so I'm massively shy, I have anxiety, depression, a lot of social anxiety as well, all thrown in the mix. So quite often I'm absolutely petrified of all of you, and these videos I find absolutely petrifying, but I'm just forcing myself to do more and more of them, because I like the idea of it, and it's weird, this video has been quite strange, just sort of rambling away, and I have no idea if there's any valuable content in this, but yeah, the more people talk, talking is good, the more people talk, the more people get help, the more people, we don't get better, but get under control, manageable, get all their shit done. I said shit. This is a different kind of video. There's cool Bad Squiddo stuff coming. I'm not going to let this get in the way of anything, not even my hand punching. Look how cool this area is. This is going to be good. And keep watching and you'll see this excellent area again soon, with a much more animated Annie. Can you see how easy it is though? I'm so animated. But there'll be lots. Oh, I did a bit of painting. You might want to see. I'm going to clip this in case the sync's gone. Look at me being concerned about audio video sync, like I know what I'm talking about. So I actually painted some miniatures. They're not finished, they're only vaguely base coated, but I painted my own stuff, so hang on, there we go. So she's only base coated, but I've started painting up this Axe Shield Maiden unit. But I'm trying to not get too perfectionist on them, because I need an army. Oh, come on. I'll get a little board I can use as well. There we go. So my aim is just to base coat them, put some strong tone on them and pop some highlights. There we are. Yep. So yeah, there's the other ones. Obviously I need their shields. I put them on thicker bases because that's what my ghouls are on. And I thought, actually, Age of Magic, if I can mix bits up, I'll make sure all my fantasy and historicals are all on the same basing. It's very clever. So you've perked up talking about hobby. Thanks for watching this. I don't know if you've got anything out of it or whatnot. I promise I'll get back to the fun, exciting videos soon. Yeah, I didn't want to put anyone on a downer, but I just wanted to explain, really, without ever explaining anything. Maybe I'll do a follow-up absolutely explaining. But yeah, if you want more help, the usual sort of disclaimers, if I'm sort of slipping away. There's plenty of websites, phone lines, all that, if you want to talk to anyone professionally. There's always a friend's ear as well. I know I'm terrible at actually reaching out myself, and everyone is, but people would so much rather you did. And if you've never spoke to anyone before, once you do that first time, it is just amazing. If you go to a doctor's, there's so much they can offer you. If your doctor's terrible, get rid of them and get another one, because I had that a few times and that sucks. So there's the doctors, your friends, and also the professional helplines as well, and depending on what you want, there's even text ones now, although they're a bit rubbish and slow, but if you don't want to talk to anyone on the phone, there's that. That's it really. I am Annie, I have anxiety and depression, but how cool is it that Bad Squiddo's Bad Squiddo's a thing anyway, so screw you, mental illness, and let's keep making some cool stuff. Right, see you later.